After a meeting with the Austrian MPs, Michael Hammer and Reinhold Lopatka, Basha said despite the deep problems that the country is going through, opening negotiations will increase control over the government. Hospital directors will undergo a 5-week intensive course on how to better manage hospital institutions and will be held responsible for any shortfalls in medicine stock as well as the use of expired medication. Tirana's Mayor Veliaj and Finance Minister Ahmetaj met with residents of Bërzhita for the accountability tour, guaranteeing residents that investments will focus on the periphery. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Friday the 8th of June 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. The head of the Constitutional Court, Bërzhita, has been subjected to a vetting hearing today. At the session conducted by the Independent Qualification Commission, case reporter Xhafaj says the head of the Constitutional Court has made contradictory statements. Bërzhita owns a 146 square metre apartment and a garage worth a total of €118,000. Bërzhita has once stated that €25,000 was given by his brother-in-law. Then he claimed it came from his father-in-law. This raises suspicions and also calls into question the €15,000 loan he claims to have received from his brother, said Xhafaj. Also, from the documentation submitted, there are shortfalls when comparing Bërzhita's income in comparison to his assets. The brother of Bërzhita at the time he is supposed to have loaned €15,000, has also bought an apartment costing €40,000. There are also problems with another apartment in Tirana purchased back in 1997 with his brother. Dedia has changed his declarations regarding the apartment purchased in 1997, said Xhafaj. During the re-evaluation, Dedia himself was not present, instead choosing to be represented by his lawyer, Xhafaj. Xhafaj explained the source of income, which according to him came from the remittances and activities of his brother, who deals with livestock and agriculture. There are not two separate statements, but we updated the statement based on additional data. The data does, however, confirm that these resources are clean and provided by his brother for the purpose of helping him buy an apartment. Regarding the beach apartment, this was bought by his brother, who has considerable income from his work in the field of livestock, beekeeping and fruit trees. From the central bank data, you have annual statistics of all the remittances over the years that are from the work they have done and do. Many family economies in this country are financed by remittances. To the Commission, I say that, based on the material of the files in the cooperation and evidence we have, the Commission should reconfirm the duty, said Xhafaj. The trial chamber consists of Valbona Sanjaktari, Roland Elia and Xhafaj. The Constitutional Court is in a concerning situation as it now has only 3 members following previous vetting hearings. Earlier, Constitutional Court Judge Besnik Imerai resigned, while Fatos Lulo, Altina Georgai and Fatmir Hoja were all dismissed as a result of being unable to pass the vetting process. At this stage, the only Constitutional Court judge who has successfully passed vetting was Vitora Tusha. Two Austrian MPs from the ranks of Chancellor Sebastian Kurz's People's Party, Reinhold Lopatka and Michael Hammer, stopped by Luzim Basha's office today. Following the meeting, they issued a statement to the media saying their country is for the opening of negotiations with Albania. MP Reinhold Lopatka added that the fight against organised crime is essential, and at this point he also mentioned the accusations raised against the Interior Minister, Fatmir Xhafaj. I have to point out that we are concerned about the Xhafaj case. The case of Minister Xhafaj should be reliably investigated in order to support Albania's path towards the European Union. Austrian citizens are concerned about organised crime, explained Reinhold Lopatka. The chair of the Democratic Party, Luzim Basha, called on Austria to support the opening of our country's negotiations with the European Union and said that this should happen despite the deep-seated problems that Albania suffers from. Prime Minister Edi Rama was in Fier today, where he participated in the work on the gas compressor station, another major work of the TAP pipeline project. In his speech, Rama said that it will begin to function in 2020 and will generate significant employment. This project also has significant impacts on the economy, said the Prime Minister. The station that will be ready to start commercial operation in 2020 is expected to reach more than 250 employees this year, while there are over 100 jobs that have been generated for companies companies that cooperate with the project in Fier, Tirana, Elbasan and Corcha. It is worth mentioning that over 70% of the workforce is domestic, as the new job vacancies are being filled from the local labour market. Having an economic impact, but also having an impact on capacity building for all those involved in this operation increases professional and technical capacities. Companies benefit from added value in this point of view, where we are known to have an urgent need, said Eddie Rama. Hospital executives have initiated a hospital management course for their training to ensure they follow the best practices for administering such vital services for citizens. It is the first time that the School of Hospital Directors has opened its doors, and the Minister of Health, Augerta Manastirliu, considers this process part of decentralisation, meaning more accountability and transparency. 14 million euros have been invested, with many new projects having been implemented this year in the health sector. These investments spread across 11 regional hospitals as well as in Tirana. But management is obviously important for providing quality services to citizens, so we decided to open the School of Hospital Directors for the first time, said Augerta Manastirliu. This year, basic medicines will be guaranteed in every hospital. As the Health Minister adds, there will be no medicine shortages or use of those which have expired. The Minister stated that they will launch a process that will assess the hospitals according to their performance, and that this will form part of the ongoing accreditation process. The first cycle of hospital management will lay the foundations for good management of financial resources. Before raising funds, the actual funds should be properly administered. So the school we are opening today will continue with other cycles until every penny of public money goes to the patient in order to improve the service for the citizens, said Augerta Manastirliu. The School of Directors starts today and will continue over the next 5 weekends. Familiar lecturers and professionals of the field, both local and foreign, will conduct these intensive courses. Tirana's Mayor, Veliaj, and Finance and Economy Minister, Ahmetaj, talked with the residents of Bërzhita to hear their concerns and present them with the planned projects. Veliaj stressed that during this time, the attention has been focused on rural areas, while praising the administrative territorial reform of the government, which, according to him, has increased the investment opportunities in the villages. The Prime Minister's idea of territorial reform to expand Tirana was one of the best ideas, because for a school to be established in the village of Mihayas with the taxes of 400 residents, it would take 82 years. The reform allowed the municipality to gather taxes in urban areas and invest them in rural areas. It allowed us to do some things that would not have been otherwise done for 80 years, said Veliaj. Following the conclusion of strategic projects for the city, such as Skanderberg Square, the new boulevard and the new bazaar, Veliaj said it was now the turn of rural areas to see some more investment. In these 3 years, we have done great work that had not been done before. The square had remained, Bazariri had been stagnant, the boulevard had stagnated, and many schools were in worrying states of disrepair across Tirana. We have found Tirana with schools at double their capacity, resulting in lessons being given across 2 shifts, and we have saved a large number of schools from this. So for all these reasons, I say that we are in a situation when it is time for the villagers to also see such benefits, said Veliaj. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.